Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Well, start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. Showing from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
It's a new week and you're welcome to another interesting edition of the VOP this morning on Voice of the People Television. I am Fina Okechukwu, and our heart goes out to the people that lost their life in Plateau State on Friday. It was really a Black Friday where All Saints Academy collapsed, a building collapsed, killing students and even teacher. I recall that there was a news. They said a woman couldn't bear the news of losing the 4 kids. She had to also die. And Caleb Muftuang, the governor of Plateau State, declared a 3 days mourning for these people, innocent ones that lost their life. And, you know, we have to join, though the mourning period ends today. But all the same, I pray that God will grant eternal rest to the repose of the souls that, you know, were lost that Friday. And also we have this campaign going on where we're talking about blood donation for the people. If you know you're within the unit, just ask, and then, you know, you can just walk into the hospital and do us a favor by donating blood. Yes, because that can actually go a long way in saving some of the victims that are still in the hospital. David, good morning. Good to have you.
Well, a very good morning to you, Fina. Yes, good morning to you, Nigerians in Nigeria and in the diaspora. It's a beautiful morning, the 15th day in the month of July 2024. And we say welcome to VOP this morning, right here on Voice of the People Television. Well, we're just going to dive into the conversation almost immediately because we don't have time. And well, today what we'll be talking about is several conversation ongoing in the political space of Nigeria. And of course, most importantly, the Ndume accusing President Bola Tinubu's government of being run by kakistocrats and kleptocrats. Whatever that means, you will definitely find out in the course of the show.
That's a loud one. And also on our radar this morning, we have just still talking about the state of the nation. Hausa organization, they are now advising Kingsmen against joining Fulani organized protest against Tinubu-led administration. And they remind their youth that such actually is a forbidden act. These are more we'll be looking at today. But before then, wanted to join this conversation as the moving trend moves. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. Just click on the bell button for subscription so that we can be able to get, you know, have the notification once we are live. And other social media platforms, we are VOP TV Live. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're moving straight down into what the front pages of the national dailies are talking about this morning. And we have no other person than Mr. Akin Fatunke, who is a chartered accountant. He's an economist. And, you know, he has also been through the oil and gas sector. And he is here in the studio with us this morning in the capacity of the public affairs commentator and analyst. So when we come back after this quick break, we'll be looking at the front pages of the national dailies.
All right, welcome back from that quick break. Let's just get to it almost immediately. But before we do that, let's bring to the fold our guest for today, Mr. Akin Fatunke. Very good morning to you, sir.
Yes, I'd like to say good morning, David. I'd like to say good morning, Philian. I joined you in commiserating with all of us, especially with families of those that have died, those that are dying as we speak, and unfortunately, those that will also die in future. You have a beautiful black. Is that
Yeah, it actually is part of what's letter away. It had to be on black and black, you know, to actually make people not like, you know, it's sad when you know that a mother had to die along with her 4 kids.
It is worse.
It's heartbreaking.
You know, Filian, something similar to this happened. Nigerians should not forget. Yeah. You remember the Sosoliso crash in Port Harcourt? When a mother watched 3 of her kids coming from the Jesus College in Abuja, very unavoidable. She watched them roasted and, you know, cries upon cries.
It's painful.
She had to live through it. And each night there was a harrowing. So thank you very much. Thanks to VOP for bringing this for a commiseration. David, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
All right, let's get to it almost immediately. We'll be looking at the front pages right now. We start off with the Vanguard newspaper. Now, the banner headline here in the front page of the Vanguard newspaper reads, "Consumer spending down as Nigerians remain gloomy on economy." The writer, "Weak spending triggers decline in e-payment transactions. Value of e-payment falls 5.7% to 92.8 trillion naira. Firms reduce output expansion due to low consumer spending." Other headlines there: Samoa agreement, Ombudsman begins probe of FG's complaint against Daily Trust. NBA gives IG 7 days to stop ECMR certificate issuance. UK court dismisses P&ID appeal, upholds £43 billion award in favor of Nigeria. Trump assassination attempt. Tinubu world leaders call shooting distasteful. And then there is an editorial by Owe Lakemfa. You can read that up also on page 16 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then in sports, Spain heap 2-1 pain on England. Well, that's about the finals of the Euros that ended yesterday. And yes, that's it on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Mr. Hakim, which would you want to?
Very quickly, the consumer spending is low, and that is low for the economy. But I begin to wonder as an economist, again, when you put all the numbers together, you know, when you measure your GDP, so to speak, you talk about consumer spending, you talk about industrial spending, you talk about government spending, then you talk about export less, imports, net of taxes. And because our inflation still keeps on galloping, you begin to wonder. So from where I am, without necessarily going deep, it looks like the government spending, we have a lot that is being spent at the governmental level, both federal and local. I do hope that the introduction of the credit scheme will help in this process, but I dare say it's not looking like a bed of roses for the economy yet. I must say. And then, you know, David, you are hungry, I'm hungry. I know Fina is hungry. In fact, we represent the metaphor to the wider circle of people that we have out there. I really pray that both the physical and the monetary will continue to have the appropriate keys, and the good example that we expect from government at all levels should come to bear so that they can jumpstart our economy once again.
It's interesting you did mention that the rising cost of living in Nigeria is part of this. I saw one of the writers here, weak spending triggers decline in e-payments transaction. Does it indicate in any way that the cashless policy seems to not be gaining momentum?
Well, it will naturally not gain momentum when there is weak spending. You don't got anything to spend, whether it's physical cash, you're going to be doing your e-wallet.
Yes.
You are out of job, you don't have employment, and you don't have any other pseudo or hidden employments to help you. You don't have children to help you. You don't have grown-up. You don't even have children at all. And by the time you begin to think of your education, livelihood, what else do you expect? My thinking is that the credit scheme that they wish to introduce, which I think will, in my honest opinion, solve quite a number of questions. What does that mean?
Right.
It means FINA, without necessarily getting a salary increase, who gets some credit, who go buy whatever it is that she wishes to buy in credit, injects movement into the economy, she's happy, and then, she'll be debited, affordably over time, and then that can engender. But David, the usual thing, the graveyard of any strategy, as I found in Nigeria, is implementation. I think and I pray that this be implemented to the letter. The time to start was yesterday.
All right.
The next time is today. I'm not sure it's starting today.
Okay.
Just by tomorrow, let's begin to
We'll wait to see all of that and how it would pan out. But let's get to the conversation proper. And this morning we'll be looking at the statement credited to the Senate Chief Whip. I'm talking about Senator Ali Ndume, who accuses President Bola Tinubu of being run by kakistocrats and kleptocrats. Whatever that means, you will find out as we take this very little break when we return.
From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. Catch up with the latest topics making the buzz, the stories that tick, the trends. Let's let you in on why they are trending, from politics, entertainment, business, lifestyle, and more. Analyzing the trending stories with top eyeballs. Hashtag on Voice of the People Television, giving you an insight to everything and everyone Nigeria is talking about. Showing on VOP TV, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Hashtag if it's trending, we bring it on.
All right, welcome back. It is still VOP this morning, right here on Voice of the People Television. Let's get to the conversation proper. Well, in his cartoon critic, Senate Chief Whip Ali Ndume condemned President Bola Tinubu's administration, labeling it a regime of kakistocrats and kleptocrats. Ndume, a senator, member of the ruling All Progressive Congress, voiced his concern during an interview. Expressing disappointment in the government's direction, he claimed that the administration, initially built on the promise of a renewed hope agenda, is now run by the least qualified and most unscrupulous individuals, whose primary aim is personal enrichment. In response, a senior media aide told the President Bola Tinubu, and that's Mr. Tokwe Ajayi, dismissed Ndume's criticism as unfounded. Well, Ajayi accused Ndume of being a notorious loose cannon with limited self-awareness, suggesting that his grievances are driven by personal ambition rather than genuine concern for the public. Interesting times. Well, we have with us in the studio to make sense of all of this conversation is Mr. Akin Fatuke, who is a communication consultant, an economist, and yes, one who is a big player in the oil and gas sector. And of course, with him, very close to him, is Barrister Darlington Agumo, both of who would be standing in today as a public affairs analyst to help us make sense of this conversation. Gentlemen, good morning again.
Good morning, David. Good morning.
Good to have you.
All right, let's get to this conversation. I'm going to start with Barrister. This statement by Senator Ali Ndume. First off, does this look like there is trouble in the waters right now of the APC?
Yeah, thank you, David. There will always be trouble if the right thing is not done. You don't need to be told that there will be trouble. I'm going to look at this matter from two ways.
Okay.
Now, Ali Ndume, fine. He made a genuine point. But my worry here is that, is it actually genuine? Because if you ask me, Buhari did worse thing, and the northern leader never criticized him. They were not this forthright in criticizing him. That is my worry. Our leaders or political leaders, they are never sincere whenever they want to talk. They play on the gullibility of the masses.
Ali Ndume was of the opinion that during Buhari's time, he can be easily accessible. People can walk on and talk to him and tell him what is happening in the country, unlike this present administration.
No,
Don't you think that would be the reason he's
No, I
willing
don't
to
think
talk?
so. In fact, Buhari was even cordoned off more than Tinubu, because at that time, it was who was running the government that time? It was his aides. Nobody had anything for Buhari. Hardly talk. Buhari hardly talk. Let us be sincere here. Nobody knew. In fact, Buhari said it that he did not know. I can't remember whatever they asked Buhari, and he said that I'm aware. Everything he did not know. Everything he did not know until the country almost collapsed under his word. So why are northern leaders now making Tinubu look like as if he's the source of our problem? He may be the source, but he's not the only source. Let us call a spade here. I'm beginning to think that northern leaders are too selfish. Whenever they see a Sataner come to office, that's what they'll be doing. All the infamy Buhari committed in his 8 years, how come no northern leader stood up? They never stood up.
Mr. Ali Ndume also, the Senate Chief Whip said something now, Barrister. He says that even during the 1999 to 2007 Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, that he is easily accessible. But now that even ministers can't even access this president that we have in Nigeria.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Tinubu has been accessible. I know of many people he has been receiving, and if that's not the issue here, we are looking at governance.
Right.
We are looking at governance here. Tinubu is not doing well, actually. But Buhari, who laid the foundation for this rot? That's where we should start.
We also have the likes of...
The northern leader never criticized Buhari the way they are talking to Tinubu. I don't like it.
We have the likes of Lukman, who happens to be another senior member of APC, saying he's leaving the party because of the fact that there is nothing APC can actually get on a fair ground. Now, don't you think that some people who happen to be senior members of APC are beginning to, move away from...
My dear, don't be deceived. When you want to hang a dog, you give it a burden. They are preparing ground for 2027.
Okay, you think it's politics?
It is politics. After all, Buhari did worse thing, for God's sake. We know what Buhari did in office.
So now, are you of the opinion, Barrister, that this present administration is aware of the untold hardship Nigerians are passing through, and yet nothing actually has been done about it?
Tinubu have acknowledged it, but he's hamstrung because there's no finance. I mean, Buhari messed up the economy, the treasury.
All right, Barrister.
The man is hamstrung. Nobody can really blame him, even though I'm not his fan. Let them call Buhari. Let us even run a check and see what Buhari did with our money and what Tinubu is doing now. Let us see who have done the worst to this economy.
Let's have Mr. Akin into this conversation. What are the implications of these statements by Mr. Ali Ndume at this point?
Well, on a balance, we've seen movies like this before. It happens all the time. And in a house, you always have agreements, disagreements. When you are trying to compete to get the king's heart. It happened under Buhari, it happened under Jonathan. The Obasanjo that you mentioned, you always hear about kitchen cabinet, whatever that means. However, like Barrister is saying, I think a lot of this is mad in some politics. I'll give you 2-3 examples. The first one was the politics of the monetary policy that Cardoso was pursuing. When Cardoso came in and said that his focus is going to be on regulation and CBN should not double its hands in some kind of politics. And one of the things that was done therefore was that some of the agencies that had been relocated back into the northern part of Nigeria, because when you do the Pareto analysis, you see that more than 80-90% of the financial institutions are in commercial areas of Lagos, of course maybe Abuja and Port Harcourt, and that it was going to relocate them back so that you can now then do the basic thing. Ali Ndume rose to say that that should not be. He cried wolf and said that Bola Tinubu's administration was undermining the North. And then the North now gathered and then took a decision. By the time you drilled deep, one of the things that is coming out in social media, I don't know how true that is that the likes of Senator Ndume and others have placed their children in specific places in some of these agencies. Now. Apart from placing their children in some of these agencies, one of the things is that they don't want them to come to Lagos, rather want to continue to be in Abuja. So that is one. Secondly, last week or thereabouts, Barrister, you remember a situation where a minister that was serving in Buhari's government, Safia Yusuf, is it?
Yeah.
Humanitarian Affairs Minister, when a judge unilaterally, a young judge, I dare say, who just been appointed, Dipeolu, made a landmark pronouncement that she has a case to answer, talking about trillions.
Oh, you're talking about Sadia Umar.
Farouk.
Yeah.
And that she has a case to answer. Usually, like my brother Barrister is saying, when you begin to hear clouds, you begin to see rains. I think, again, those will be on those positive sides. But, however, Senator Ndume, one of the ranking senators that I think I know from Borno, yes, one of those senators that cannot go and live in Borno because of a lot of things that are going on, and who also I happen to know is the chairman, well, I still think, I'm not sure, has always been the chairman of the Senate Committee for the Armed Forces, whose people got together and unabashedly said they did not want the kind of control that should come on. And then for you now to then come and be criticizing your party, okay, if it's a party affair, is there substance in what he's saying? Yes, there could be substance. Naturally, there can't be smoke without fire. There could be substance. Aristocracy is what I don't know. I can't place my hand because it gives me the impression of khaki, military, whatever. But when you look at it, it's becoming a one-man soldier army. I don't know how far it is true. A couple of people are coming back to APC. Perhaps I don't know if it is true. Crisscrossing.
But don't you think that's particularly because they want to get to the ruling party, which is what quite a number of senators have mentioned.
In my opinion, it's not democracy. If it's the other way around, you see APC people now moving in there. I mean, we're a bunch of serious people that are on. And if it goes on, one of the things that we are now then saying that you want unitary states, APC now captures it all in a situation where you will not have 100% knowledge and capacity to be able to do. This is now the time for us to be able to reach out. I, like Ningi, that happened, Abdul Ningi that happened, that just went out and started making statements. We must again begin to look at some of these things in results. May I say something? On just before we came in, Barrister was asking me how was my weekend. And one of the places I spent my weekend was at a hotel. There was a book launch by Aremo Shegun Oshoba. And in that book launch, you had the creme de la creme of politicians, irrespective of party. Labour Party, PDP, NMPP, including Ubasani was there, and Ndume too. They were all there. And one of the things that I heard from that angle is that irrespective of how things happen in this country, whether it's APC, PDP, LP, we must find a way to find the path. Shetima came to represent Tinubu at that event, and they still kept on talking about the fact that they are open to criticisms. So if we are open to criticism, I understand all that. Can we have a way to try and make sure we get into the inner chambers, look at the substantive things that are being said, and find a way to correct? I am also persuaded, maybe beyond his capacity and beyond the environment, that Mr. Bola Tinubu, as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, could do with some dose
he said something
of infusion
outside his party. Something that is quite critical, and he did mention that this government is being run by least qualified and unscrupulous. I mean, he did give some words. Now,
yes.
Do you share his opinion about the fact that the least qualified is part of the people running the government? Now, that's one. Secondly, why then is the Senate not practically calling these people to order? Because they also have the powers to do that.
That's it. So, I mean, if you say he's the least qualified, Barrister was making a point. He's not a fan of Bola Tinubu, but at the same time, he wants to be fair. The politics of this country is that we are not one, we are not together, and anytime power shifts, listen to what I want to say here. If that power shifted in a direction of, say, Labour Party, as an example, these people will still come out crying foul. And so the
you think this is about the North not having major powers?
It is about politics. Okay. I know that for sure. Now back to your point about least qualified. Maybe not, but I have one or two ministers that I can point to. I cannot call them ministers that are least qualified. Example would be the minister in charge of digital economy, the minister in charge of interior. I would be hard-pressed to say that these ministers are least qualified. Yes, I also think when you go to the other side of the Niger, he may not necessarily be very popular with my friends, my kith and kin from the East. I will be very reluctant to point at David Umahi and call him that he's not qualified. He may not be doing things that will be in a direction that we want, but to say that he's not qualified will be most uncertain.
Barrister?
Yeah, Barrister will come in now, but then what does it mean for you to have qualified ministers? Those ministers must come from the North. They must populate.
You think that's where he's talking to?
Now, it's not that I think, I know.
No.
So please, if you look at all those trajectories, part of some of the things that came is that they said the loss has not lost out, that some of the key ministries, they were not going to be a part of it. But put together, like I said, no smoke without fire. We need some dose of balancing with this present regime.
Now, Barrister Darlington, let's bring it back to the table of why we're having this issue being discussed now. The Senate Chief Whip was of the opinion that even the food insecurity crisis is on the rise. And he also pointed out that what United Nations and World Food Program and Action Against Hunger currently talked. They rank Nigeria to be, among the topmost countries that are having hunger issues. Breaking it back now, if you think that this government or this present administration is practicing full inclusion, don't you think that Ndume will also have idea that on the 4th of July 2024, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu inaugurated the Presidential Economic Coordination Council, PECC, and also launched the Economic Stabilization Program to ensure food security, improve power supply, and even welfare of Nigerians. And not just that also, because according to Ajay, he made mention of so many things. He said even President was even that. He said President even move ahead as taking out duty-free on importation of food to make sure that we're able to, crash down the food price in Nigeria and all that.
It is a shame when you hear Northerners talking of food insecurity. A very big shame. I'm telling you, they are gaslighting the rest of us. If anybody should complain of food insecurity, it shouldn't be the North because they have the land mass.
Why do you think it shouldn't be the North?
I said they have the land mass. 2, they brought this insecurity into Nigeria for their own selfish interest. That is a fact. They have said it openly. They are not hiding it.
Barrister, some quarters have also said that the president is the one at the helm of affairs. He should be able to have practically be decisive about the issue of insecurity. Don't you think that's another reason why Ndume at this point is really being vocal?
Are you serious? That means you don't even know the politics of this country. When Jonathan saw that Boko Haram are even in his cabinet and they are sabotaging his effort to clear Boko Haram, what did he do? He went outside and brought a certain Ihejirika who has retired and gave him a marching order. Ihejirika gave Boko Haram hell. He was chasing them bumper to bumper. He chased them. It was during the time that we knew what is called Sambisa Forest. Ihejirika chased them into Sambisa Forest. What did they not do? They started writing Momo. Yeah, Jonathan want to finish the North. They want to revenge what they did to them during the Biafran War. This and that. They started writing to the international community that Jonathan is committing genocide. Because of the hoopla that thing generated, Jonathan had to withdraw Ihejirika and retire him back. Immediately, these people came back in full force. Is that not what happened in this country?
We have names of people who are financing insecurity.
Good, hold on, I'm coming to that. The 400 that they gave you from outside here that are financing this thing, where are they from? Please, can they open that list? Let us know who is doing what in Nigeria.
But talking about the 14 names now that we have now on the table of this present administration to say that these are the financiers of this terrorism act happening in Nigeria.
I am telling
Why haven't this present administration called them?
If those names were populated by Femi, Dakpo, or Bukola, or Emeka, or Chukuma, they would have published those names that day. You wouldn't even beg them to publish. They would have told you, look at these people, they want to destroy Nigeria. But because it is them, the same people, who went to the Sahel to bring terrorists into this country, they don't want to publish those names because it will affect them. Hold on, did you remember that Emefiele was accused of sponsoring terrorism? That was the first charge against him by DSS, even when Buhari was in office. But when they discovered that if they pursue this matter, it will affect some of their own, that Emefiele is going to talk, they dropped it. Even Buhari told them not to talk to Emefiele. There was a presidential order given to DSS not to disturb Emefiele. It happened in this country. So why didn't they pursue that matter? Take Emefiele to court for terrorism financing. And let me see how Emefiele will be the sole financier of terrorism in Nigeria without any names attached. Without somebody telling him to take money to somewhere or give money to these people. They dropped it because they know it will open them up. This is what we are talking about. I don't know. You see, I am not very happy that we in the South, we have sold our rights. The type of arrogance and impunity did not displace whenever there is a new government. I don't like it. I don't. We saw what Buhari did here in Nigeria. We saw what he did. For 8 years, he was acting like the Lord of the Manor. Doing things as if there was nobody that matters. Look at how he was collecting money from CBN. Up to 23 trillion naira. The North never said anything about it. Mention any president in the history of this country that have done that. I mean, openly collecting money. And he told us himself when he was going that, look, you people should go and collected this money from CBN. You people should put it to your national budget and pay it off. There was no appropriation. There was no authorization. He just did it on his own. And we never knew until a month when he was leaving office.
What do you think is the reason why this present government is not even talking to that situation that you just mentioned?
It is because I have told you here, we have surrendered our right to the North. And they believe that it is their right to do whatever they like in governance.
How do you mean, Barrister?
That is it. Now, when some of them wrote that they are born to rule, was it not the logo of Sokoto?
So where does that leave us with the constitution that we have in Nigeria as amended in 1999?
Are you serious? Who told you they are working with your constitution?
Don't you even know that all
look at
this
that
is
constitution.
happening?
That constitution is characterized by, half of it is characterized by northern Muslim tradition and culture.
We have so many people from other regions. We have the likes of Olusegun Obasanjo. We have the likes of Goodluck Jonathan being president of this country after that constitution was amended in 1999. Why didn't they do anything to be able to rectify the clauses?
I have told you here, they believe that they have the power to do whatever. They have the population. They will decide who will be governor or who will be president because of their population. Didn't you hear what they told you, Tinubu? That they are the one that brought him to office with their vote, 65%. These are some of the arrogance I don't understand. But in reality, is it true? The answer is no. Because we have not done a correct census. I told you here, when Jonathan brought Ndume, the man from 33 Brewery, to go and do a proper census for Nigeria.
Nigerian breweries.
The man went all over the place to go and gather data on how to do modern census, accurate, at least 99% accurate. He came here and said, look, the last census they did was a fraud. That what he saw on the shelf was a fraud. And he's going to give Nigeria a correct census. Because of that singular statement, Kwakwa and so from Kano, he was the governor then. He drove himself to Aso Rock and called Jonathan and said, come, you see this man you said is your chairman of NPC, National Population Commission. Remove him from office if you want second term. The man is talking too much. Maybe he had taken too much beer. Remove him. That was it. And Jonathan obeyed them.
So
at the end of the day,
why point fingers to people where we are the architect?
You didn't hear the condition. If you want second term, at the end of the day, they did not give the Jonathan second term, and the man did not carry out the assignment.
So does this look like a distorting of program for President Tinubu's second term in office?
There is no, these people, I don't know their mindset too. What I've been saying is that, go and check. The progress of this country is not in the mind of some people. It is their own selfish interest that they want.
All right.
That is why somebody who loves Nigeria can go outside and say terrorists should come inside here. What does that tell you? It's not a treasonable felony. Terrorists, they are not even shivering about it. One of them even threatened Tinubu'S wife. Can you just imagine? What kind of arrogance is that? Told her that God told him that he should go and kill her, that she's an infidel. Who told you? How do you define an infidel? Where did the God talk to you to do that? These are some of the things that I wanted the Tinubu to do, but you're not doing it. I don't know whether he's afraid or something. Tinubu did not even say a word. Your own wife. Your own wife in that manner. Look, if you try with another Iboma like me, if I don't carry gun, I'll carry cutlass. You will tell me where I go. I will say, God equally told me to come and meet you.
Now, the question would now be, why is the presidency not doing anything concerning this?
I have just told you here. They believe it is their right, and you and I have sold it to them that we cannot do anything.
So we should stop crying over dispute me.
That was some of us are crying because it has not helped us. We are not moving forward. I don't like cowardice. When men are supposed to stand up and they will be shivering.
Mr. King,
it is because of we have done it over the years and allowed these people to do. Look at who are the people that surrounded this country today. Who are the people that inside our bushes? Are they the Igbos or are they Yorubas? Where are they from? Who are those people that surrounded this country? Raping women in their farmland. Who are those people? And everybody saw it and we kept quiet. Because you want one. Are you getting one Nigeria now? No, are you getting one? And why some people just arrogantly, without even thinking that, there are other tribes here, let us respect their views. So you don't do whatever you like and talk anyhow you like.
Mr. Akin Fatunke, we've pointed out the challenges we're having in Nigeria as regards the state of the nation and the economy, how it's been run. As an economist now, we want you to, chime in your voice on what do you think we really need to do to make sure that Nigeria's economy, keep on moving? Because we saw on one of the headlines saying that the spending capacity of Nigerians is low.
Restructure Nigeria. Nigeria is not working. The barrister spoke he spoke the minds of progressive Nigerians. On this table, and this discussion has nothing to do with partisanship, has something to do with the soul of the nation.
I'm telling you.
I will only extend it that it's not just happening. It's been all over the place. And until we take a decision that we have to restructure, get ourselves back in shape and online.
It's restructuring Nigeria easy.
We are not going to be able to get.
It is more than easy. It's not the political will. It's more than easy.
Now, I also want to tell you, even though you may take or you may not want to take, in alignment with what he said, when Mr. Peter Obi started his moves around, okay, let's begin to look at 2027. Where is he visiting more?
They're not.
He's visiting the north. He's trying to put in whatever it is.
So that you can be accepted.
Because that block, fairly or unfairly, depending on how you stand, takes a determination on who rules Nigeria.
I'm telling you.
So if you look at it, is it from population? I don't know, population that is not scientific? Or is it from some of the mistakes that many of us in the South continues to make, and we are still making that mistake?
Mr. Akin, you continue your thought. You said, is it on population? From the last election, is it not visible that this is about population? That's the reason why some politicians, particularly Peter Obi that you mentioned, is visiting the north.
I do not know about we having a population that I can beat my chest that we have. We have not conducted population. Try and put it across that you want to do a population today. You begin to see a lot of motion without movement. And that is the truth. And this has been implanted.
To add to what you're saying, if truly they want a true population to be conducted, will Kwakwanso do what he did? So, have you ever heard where the desert region is more populated than the swampy area of the south?
So don't you think it is the docility of those people who happen to be in the south as regards getting involved in politics that made them to be that way?
The jury is out.
Okay.
Harold Smith came out and told us how the whole thing was manipulated around 1960.
Exactly.
We all know about a lot of some of the things that are happening.
Harold Smith, I have his interview.
The constitution that we are talking about, that you want me to make a comment about the economy that is seriously robbed, that if you make a mannequin, and if I make a hero beer, and I decide I'm going to sell it in my environment and then take it up north, if it gets to the north, it's going to be destroyed. But the VAT on it, they will take the larger chunk
of it.
So, when I say to you that Nigeria is not working, we haven't seen men, sunborn, suntan, who will be able to look at situations and call it exactly as it is. Back to where we are at right now. To fix Nigeria, it's not that it's impossible, but it's going to take a lot of tasks. One of it will be that Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today must not be talking about second term, must not be looking at second term. It is not a question of second term. Go ahead, go out there and fix. This same president in Lagos did something, in my mind, that we all thought was not going to be possible. When he went on, you see what happened in the Yoshodi thing, play the politics well and make sure that at least we're able to get all the stakeholders together. What this president should be gunning for is not a second-term thing. As a matter of fact,
so
again,
what should he be gunning for?
If one man that I also admire, because I know him personally, that's by the way, maybe I'm allowing that to come out, Mr. Gregory Obi should have succeeded to be president of this country. And we are going to want to rectify Nigeria. It's not going to be second term that will be his focus. Go out there, reshape and rejig and make sure that you do what is right. Now, Bola Tinubu, it's not also true that the present administration is not doing a few things coming up. And they are already saying it that you are taking empowerment away from a particular bloc. And it's the reason why you are having all this shout and shout. So, you better have all this shout and let it be more of a legacy. You do not need to have a second term to take hard decisions. Can you be bold enough to look at the confirm that you yourself rejected with your mouth and with whatever it is that you do? Can we begin to look at that? You are already taking some bold forms. In my mind, the local government administration thing that is the Supreme Court, I think that is relatively bold. It is the implementation of it that you should be looking at. We are also talking again about whether you have state police or no state police, depending on where you are.
All right, in one sentence, is there the possibility that this present administration has anything close to political will in getting it right? In one sentence, before we get to the next conversation.
Well, the political will now be the movement that I see after his first year, going into the second year, and I've told you what I don't want to continue to see. Should be bold, should be inclusive. Should also include, even though you are not, I say it all the time, but I'm pleading, I am not forcing.
Right.
That Nnamdi Kanu should be released. You see, should be released, I said, there should be a political solution and it should be done as fast as possible. Because we want a cohesion, so all of us can all sit around the table, take a decision. If you all want to go and drift apart, so be it, and then we take a decision on what we are going to be putting in the center. Okay. That political will to do that is very, very important.
Barrister, in 1 minute, would you also say that this present administration, aside the fact that they've been getting some of these kickbacks from the northern politicians, do you also think that there is the political will of this administration to do better as the time goes on?
You see, the way Tinubu came into office and the baggages he's carrying, I think that is what is affecting him. He will not be too bold to carry a certain decision because somebody is going to pull strings somewhere. And that will affect his ego and his intentions. But let me tell you, there is one solution. You see the problem we have now, which we know who created it and those who created it. We don't need to start begging or pleading. No. Let us unite. Let us be united here because every time you hear Northern Governors Forum, Northern Leaders Forum, they all come together, even under Buhari, and they take decision on what they want to do and they will do it. Have you ever come together here? Have you ever had when the Southwest, Southeast and South came together and took a decision? Have you ever? That is the problem. If we can do that, let me tell you one example. During the Abdul Salami transitional program, AD was nowhere. They wanted to join the political train after they came out from Nadeko fight and June 12 and all that. Abdul Salami said, look, if you don't have offices as stipulated in the electoral law, you will not participate in this election. No. AD told them under Abraham Adesanyo. Yes, he told him, look, if the Southwest did not take part, AP did not take part in this election, we are pulling out. The Southwest is going. Abdul Salam saw the handwriting on the wall. 2 days to the time, he saw, let them go. Let them enter the race. Without anything. No money, nothing, no office. He had to allow them because he has seen the handwriting on the wall. Already the Southeast, we are already going for our New Yam Festival. I don't think we will be even coming back. That means it will last for centuries. So the man saw that Nigeria is slipping out of their hand. That's why they say, okay, you people should join the race. Can you imagine? So why can't you come together and say, look, you people have done this, you have done this. I remember under Buhari, elder statesmen in this country, they charged Buhari to court. They sued him for 50 billion naira and listed all the problems Buhari have created. The man that is late now, he was the leader of that thing, even Edwin Clark, the man from Yoruba land, the man I respect so much. He was part of those people. They sued Buhari and listed all the problems he created. They didn't miss word. They sued him to court. Maybe because of humility, nobody said anything about it. So why can't you here unite? Every time they not together and be imposing themselves on all of us. Why? Why? And it's not as if it's moving the country forward. No, it's about their selfish interest. Selfish interest every time. It has to be, okay, you have been in power for almost 48 years. Out of 64 years of Nigerian independence, what have you achieved?
Oh, well.
Okay.
What have you achieved?
Well, thank you so very much, Barrister. We would have to continue this conversation as we dive into the next topic. Well, interestingly, the House organization advises Kingsmen against joining Fulani organized protests against President Tinubu. Reminds, of course, the youth such was forbidden under Buhari. Well, details of this when we return. Stay with us.
Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Well, start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. Showing from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Still Voice of the People this morning. That's on Voice of the People television. And Hausa Social Cultural Group, Hausawa Sansa Development Association, HTDA, has raised an alarm, alleging that some Fulani individuals are plotting to instigate protests against President Bola Tinubu's government. In a statement signed by Katum Alumbe Jitami, HTDA warned Hausa youths across Nigeria to avoid participating in the alleged protest. The group claims the motive behind the protest is to undermine the current administration, which is not controlled by the Fulani. HTDA referenced similar tactics used to destabilize the government of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, leading to Buhari's rise to power. They emphasized that over 7 million Hausa people were killed during Buhari's 8-year rule, and protests against his administration were discouraged on religious ground. HTDA also called on all Nigerians and native nationalities to disassociate themselves from these plans and reaffirm their loyalty to President Bola Tinubu's government, as they also pray for divine protection and success in combating terrorism and banditry. And we still have with us in the studio Barrister Darlington Agumo and Mr. Akin Fatanke to help make sense more of this topic. And Barrister, while I was going through, I was, telling the people watching us, what the detail of that particular, information is all about. You were like, you were nodding your head and also.
Of course, they are woken up.
Oh, they've woken up.
They are woken up. So they knew that 7 million of the people were killed. The one they killed in 1804, when they came to the north and overran their institutions. It's not they're waking up, Abi. I thought they said we don't know what we are saying. That is why we have, look, there's a proverb in my place, say that when you allow infamy, when you allow evil to fester for too long, with time, it becomes a tradition and culture. People will not even know the difference again. I've been asking myself, why is it that a particular group of people we always want to impose their will on everybody?
But Barrister, looking at the present administration and the way things are being run, we have the likes of the President of the Senate telling Nigerians, even when Nigerians are calling and talking about how hardship actually is the order of the day in this country, saying that no amount of blackmail will deter them from going ahead to get the presidential fleet if the president asks for it. Don't you think that that is enough to anger Nigerians to ask for their right and also for government to give them what's supposed to be theirs?
No. There is an issue on ground here.
So what issue are we looking at?
The Hausa people are saying they will not join the
But the hunger we're having in Nigeria is not just for the Hausa people.
Now, who caused the hunger? Is it not insecurity that these people say that nobody will go to farm except their cow? Tell me. Nobody will go to farm except their cow. Is that not what caused the problem?
Let's bring it back again to some of the policies that this government has been given.
Okay.
We have the issue of the central bank.
Maybe I should
I'm coming, Mr. Akin. We have the issue of the central bank now, leaving the MPR rate to be at 26.25%. Even when SMEs now, Nigerians that want to be entrepreneurs decide to go, okay, I don't want to do the farming again. Let me go into, meat industrialization. You look at the rate to be at 26.25%. How will Nigerians survive getting loan from banks for them to be able to fund that?
Now, you see, we have to be very careful to situate. And I'm seeing the trend of your questions. The subject was clear. Nobody is saying the country is being run properly. What exactly are we talking about here? So let's take it one by one.
Yes. We have not tried out the Hausa people.
If you are now saying NPR and all that, who says? Even the government itself have said that they know that there is so much hardship. There is no doubt about that. But we are going into the politics. The politics of it is that a group of people have arisen and they said they want to go and protest for the very first time that I know.
I'm telling you.
And they want to go and protest because of what? Some of the things that you have mentioned and the fact that power is not in their hands. It's so glaring for everybody to see. However, Barrister Ndume, the Ohaneze I read somewhere have clearly said that, okay, well, whatever it is, we have been talking about the fact that we have been marginalized over the time. If you people want to go, we are not going to be a part of that. I believe I read that.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact. Yeah.
In addition,
what are we protesting?
In addition to the fact that the problems we have here is, and I think we are still having, is the fact that people are still talking about Ruga. President Muhammadu Buhari decided to make Malami go draw
1954,
and that whether it is University of Maiduguri, whether it's University of Ahmadu Bello University, anywhere that you have any development, go clear them. Is that an indication of positiveness?
We're looking at protests.
We also have situations during it's very, very important. We also have situations where President Muhammadu Buhari took a decision, and we had a southern minister in Amechi as transport that decided to put railway sidings all the way to Jamena or whatever it is.
But we have so many people in the National Assembly that didn't come up to say something about that. These are the people representing interests of people who are from different ethnic groups in Nigeria.
Is the National Assembly balanced?
Now we're looking at budgeting for this whole one. Don't
is the National Assembly balanced?
So you should answer that.
Because of the population, because of the population, go take something to the National Assembly and go and see.
Let's bring this in context.
If you are not fair, listen. If you are not fair, if you are not equitable, I keep on. Let's go to the basic things. The Southeast has 5 states.
That is
We've been talking about that for so long now, but I believe they have done on the table.
In the National Assembly, that is the representation you have the National Assembly. So take it to the National Assembly. It's going to be shut down.
Let me answer, Fina, please. Let me answer you with 2 examples.
All right.
There was a time under the 8th Senate, under Saraki, they wanted to make a law against child marriage, marrying your 10-year-old off. Right. They wanted, did not, because of their numerical strength, they shut it down.
Are you aware?
They wanted to introduce computer literacy to all our primary schools all over the country. Because of their numerical state, they shut it down. They said they are not ready.
Let's just remember that we have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. Now that the northern people or the people at the northern hemisphere could match themselves up there to, be or form a unified force. Shouldn't be what will be blaming others for.
No, because numerical strength. Democracy is the game of the majority. Numerical strength, they are higher in number. That's what I just told you here now. Look at Kano, has 44 local government. Lagos with their population have 20. Please,
is that fair?
If you want to do anything now, they have to do local government.
Is that far away from the fact that the Nigerian youths are planning a nationwide protest, which of course is gaining more traction in the north? I don't know if the both of you are aware of this.
Which Nigerian youth are planning?
Some Nigerian youth are practically planning a protest.
I'm even confused about this protest.
I'm getting it somewhere. If the reason why this youth at this point is saying that because of the hardship in the situation in the country is the reason why they are planning this protest, don't you think that's another reason why the Northerners as well are allowed
to restructure Nigeria so that Nigeria can be on an even nail? That is what we should be doing.
David, the protest you are talking about from the north is different from what they are talking about from the south here. The north, you have heard it now that the Hausas said they are not interested. And if you go to the north today, there are 2 major groups, the Hausas and the Fulanis.
Why do you think they are not? Why do you think they are not interested?
They said that the Hausas said they are not interested.
But
the Fulanis, are they talking of restructuring Nigeria, or are they talking of the hardship or the hunger in the land?
Or that they want power back at
So these are the issues. Let us not be confused here, because I know that the Fulani believe that the power must reside with them.
Let's take it.
And whenever they are not there, they will do everything to get it back.
Let's take it gently now. Just before we have the 1 year in office of this present administration, we've had series of protests by Nigerians. First was that of the Ariwa. You're talking about how they cannot even afford to buy spaghetti. Then we have those in Niger State protesting. Here in the south, some people also crying, Ebimbawa, here, that hunger is killing people. Even when the president come visiting, they were also chanting for that. And now we also bring it back again to the point where we have now that on the 1st of August, till a particular time in August, there'll be another protest by Nigerians now, talking about the untold hardship. I hope we know that if we go to the market now to buy yam, we cannot even go in for a tuber of yam rice. It's at cost as 7,500.
That is not the issue.
So are we now still going to look at the cry and talk of Nigerians now to be on political basis, whereby you're making it look like this protest now is going to be more like
excuse me, we are not on the same table. No, we are not on the same.
We are not meant to be. We are not meant to be. Let me tell you.
My point is that anything that is not fair will give an unfair outcome. Whether you are talking of hunger, you are talking of government, the situation and the way Nigeria is structured will not resolve some of the things that you are asking for. And all this political thing, the North is going to whatever it is, we are all looking at how to restructure Nigeria. That is the bottom line.
How will
when you restructure Nigeria, you will not have cows coming into your farm to just go and
do you think that the protest of the people as making their statements out there would not make any level of change with the government? Now, for instance, the issue of Kenya did happen, and as it stands, President Ruto has sacked some of his ministers. Now, these protests have its effect on
in other words, you are saying the protest
do you think that because the Northerners are getting involved in these protests, I don't
understand your question.
Hold on, I know what you are going.
I am talking about fundamental things that should restructure Nigeria. You are talking about protest in the North. If the North has always been, look, forget about strike. I schooled in the North. The North has been at the bottom of the bottom. If you don't want me to say,
no.
Because the two of you and the way and manner you are asking your questions, I am confused. I am saying to you, I'm saying to you, I'm talking about fundamentals.
Yes.
You are talking about hunger.
We're talking about protests. We're talking about the protests. There is a process.
Let me tell you.
I think you have an agenda.
No, hold on.
No, we don't.
Unfortunately, that's the way I'm
The
seeing it.
agenda is to let Nigerians know.
No, Nigerians are wise enough to know that all what you are saying are just tips of the iceberg.
Let me say something here. David, there is nothing wrong with people protesting, but the question is, what are you protesting for? That thing you are protesting for, will it bring that fundamental change you are asking for, or was it a selfish interest that you are pursuing? As I talk to you today, Tinubu have given the cattle headers, what is it called now? He are giving them a ministry.
Yes.
A ministry.
Ministry.
The people that benefit from that thing, 90% of them are mostly Fulani headers. That's their business. That one is a given.
Okay.
Is that not enough for them to say, okay, something is being done on our behalf? But they are not satisfied. They still want to go on a protest. And their kids in the north are telling them, look, the house are that, no, we are not interested though. Under your brother, 7 million of our people we are killed, and you people do not protest.
And I can tell you the Kanuris, where Abacha came from, I'm not going to be part of some of these things that you are saying.
Why do you think Abacha died? Let us not go there. Why do you think they killed Abacha? Now, let me tell you, if they really meant it, what they are saying, they should have started with their brother Buhari. Now, when another year you are serious, you are sincere.
And that is the thing we are trying to allow you to see. And that is what we should be
because
projecting.
under him,
there are so many things that are hidden under the... You are talking about hunger. Of course there is hunger. There is misgovernance. Nobody is talking about
hold on, Mr. Fatuki.
You are not talking about the National Assembly.
Mr. Fatuki, hold on. Do you know this food scarcity you are talking about?
Yeah.
Do you know that it is deliberate? There are mafias controlling this food from the north. Do you know how many trailers of food that come to the south here? They deliberately manipulated it to suit their own purpose. Because they are the one bringing the food. They are the one bringing it here. So how come all of it? The land they were planting the food before, when PDP was done, the land just disappeared or what?
But you told us now that insecurity actually happens people to leave.
Hold on, who caused this security? Let us start from there. If you want to.
So why is this present administration quiet and mute?
I don't give you examples here. I don't give you examples here.
This present administration is quiet.
On this present administration, we have
this present administration is quiet.
We have 14 names already published.
You should not say this. You should not say
and
this.
these 14 names now, no one is
you should not say things like this. This is the divide and rule that we are talking about.
Let me tell you. One of the reasons why they have not opened that list is because of what? You are going to step on toe, and you don't take such decision. You don't take it drastically. It is a gradual thing. If you don't want to,
the expense of Nigerians.
Hold on, I'm coming. If you don't want to take that bold step,
I think you guys have your briefs.
No, to take the bull by the horn.
Unfortunately,
I will advise
somebody like me, you can't have this kind of brief.
No.
We are trying to educate.
Hold on, Mr.
You are not agreeing.
Mr. Fatuki, please let us decide on something. If Tinubu came into office and he saw problems that are beyond him, I am telling you, he cannot do more than what he's doing. It has to be a gradual process. Because one, there are aftermath of every action you have taken. They will start accusing him now of trying to divide Nigeria. That is part. And for that reason, there may be coup. There may be coup. And people will be told stories. And because of the hardship that they are created in their own way, people will say, yes, let him go. That was what we did when they carried out the other coups. We never knew that they were coming with their own plan, with their own agenda. So whatever Tinubu is doing now, he should have to apply wisdom. How do you say that he brought his... When Buhari was there, was it not Fulani that he put into a government? Hold on, was it not Fulanis? So everything they are saying now, we are used to this type of game. What I'm saying is that the North should allow Tinubu, let him rise and fall on his own. Then we know that he has failed. But if they cannot to breathe down his neck with all these shenanigans, Rufai's son is there blowing hot air. Hausa leader or northern leaders are there threatening him. So one is even threatening.
So will I be allowed to have my?
So what I'm not saying that Tinubu he had to apply number 6 in handling this matter because it is something they allowed. David, they allowed this since 1960. The Southeast have been crying. Why do you think Ojukwu resisted them? It is the same thing. And I say it here, I will accuse the Southwest because they never knew They thought that they have friends in them. Now Tinubu is getting a dose of those medicine they were giving to others. Look at what they did to Abiola. So when are you going to wake up and know that you don't have friends over there? Okay. It's all about their own interests.
Mr. Fatike, at this point, the question that I want to ask you, which of course you will react to.
I thought you were going to ask
No. Let me just ask this. At this point, do you think, as it stands, the protest that this group is saying they are not going to be a part of, particularly because of the fact that they believe it is a Fulani agenda to destabilize the government, do you think that these protests will still hold waters and make a major statement in getting governance right from this present administration?
It's dead on arrival.
Why do you say so?
Because I see it's dead on arrival. I won't have time to be able to expatiate. Nigeria is being politically influenced. Those who are waving all this, I've just told you, so, I mean, it's going to be dead on arrival. Because sooner than later, people in the South will now rise up and say, look, okay, our oil, you can't continue to take our oil. There is balance of terror in Nigeria, and that's what I'm trying to make you understand. Your set of questions are because I saw, when you put the topic, this president, it's not about this president. Nigeria has gone beyond this president.
But Mr. Fatike,
Nigeria is going, listen. Nigeria.
And we also have that in perspective as well. He's the man at the head of affairs. But my question, like I said, maybe I would need you to really
explain why.
Then please be direct.
Please, go on.
Is your question saying Tinubu should not be president of this country?
Do you think?
No.
Do you think?
Is your question?
As a result,
Is your question? Is your question?
That was not my question. That was not my question.
What is that?
The question is what you make of this.
I have told you that this process.
That this is what I'm saying.
Please allow me. You brought me here to analyze.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, from the way you are asking your questions, we have just told you Nigeria is not governable. So whether you say somebody is protesting in the south, somebody is protesting in the north, and all these are just small screens.
Mr. Fatike, you mentioned restructuring.
Yes, I mentioned restructuring.
And you believe that restructuring is
even
the way forward for Nigeria?
I believe so.
APC believe in it.
I believe so.
In a full sentence, can you carefully let Nigerians know how do you believe this restructuring can
come?
Okay.
And can even happen?
Can come into birth.
Very good. It may be tough and difficult with the kind of National Assembly that we have that is not even. So my friends from the Southeast want republicanism and restructuring. From the Southwest, we want exactly the same thing. Up north, not exactly. So if we now go into a kind of a referendum in National Assembly, it's going to be shut down. We knew what we were doing before the rogue document that we call the Constitution as amendment.
Amended in 1999.
By the military.
Obasanjo took that Constitution and he started governing before he saw the details. Because Professor Yadudu was doing a couple of things. Sharia got into it. And I'm saying you cannot be straight in a rough jacket. Pure and simple. The protest, like he says, you have a right to protest. I don't have any problems in protesting. What I have a problem in is that you now want to protest in such a way and manner that you bring your cows and say they should continue to overrun. You have a right to stay elsewhere. Those are some of the things that we are supposed to be resisting. It goes beyond the president. Fina and yourself are saying, is this president doing something? You can't say he's not doing something. It may not have been enough, but he's already doing something. Some of the things that he's doing is sending signals to them. And that's the reason why you now see all this. Ndume is saying this, kakitocracy and all that. Statement that they did not make when Buhari was there. We all saw it. So what are we talking about? I rest my case.
All right, Barrister, can we get to our concluding thoughts?
Let's get your concluding thoughts as well.
Now, you see, Moses, please. Nigerians should wake up.
David.
It's all good.
No, actually, David, in restructuring, David came after Moses. Okay.
Go ahead, Barrister.
I know.
David, on a more serious note,
Yes, sir.
Nigerians should rise up to take this country back. Because if we are practicing democracy, it should be the majority demand. Not what a few selfish individuals want, they will impose on us. We don't want it. I have been saying it from time immemorial that we have been sleeping on our right. That's why some of these things are going on. Imagine if we have started from Buhari to tell Buhari, no, you can't lead us this way. Your people cannot take over the country and be doing whatever they like. This killing must stop. Protest continuously under Buhari.
Nobody came out to protest.
Yes, you can imagine what I'm saying. So why would you not come? Why are you not coming out to protest? Why did you not come out to protest? One worse is hold on. What is worse than killing a human being? What is worse than killing? You go to a village, you slaughter people, take over their farm, take over their homeland, take over their own village. What is worse than that? And this will happen under Buhari, and everybody kept quiet. Imagine.
No protest.
So if we have been protesting at that time, maybe Buhari will got the message. But some people here, listen, some people here from the southwest, where this started under Jonathan, all of them went cold.
Exactly.
They didn't talk. Nobody went to that Ojota Freedom Park. Nobody went there again. So now that Tinubu have inherited it, that's why I'm telling you that I don't have sympathy for him. Let him have a dose of those things that he supported. That's what I'm saying. So that maybe by the time he finish, he will now get some, get some idea and know that yes, so except he do something, this will affect his own children in future. Yes.
Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. And of course, we have to say big thank you to you, Mr. Akin Fatike, for being here.
Thank you very much. When you are eating, you are not supposed to be talking.
No, some people talk when they're eating. If the thing is too hot, I will throw it out.
This is how far we can go because of time. This is how far we can go because of time. Because if we keep on talking about it, it will linger and linger on. Thank you so much, Mr. Akin Fatike.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barrister Darlington Agumbo, for being part of the show today.
Thank you, my brother, sister.
Thank you so much. And then after this quick break, we'll move over to the other segment of the show. We have business, entertainment, and sports coming up next. Stay with us.
Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Well, start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. Showing from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
All right. right, welcome back. Let's just get to the business segment almost immediately. Well, the Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Refinery, Aliko Dangote, has revealed that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC Limited, no longer owns a 20% stake in Dangote Refinery. Dangote disclosed this during a press briefing at the refinery on Sunday. Well, the business mogul revealed that the Nigerian oil company now owns only 7.2% of the refinery due to the NNPC's failure to pay the balance of their share, which was due last month in June. Well, because of our time, that's the much we can take on the business segment this morning on VOP This Morning. Well, we would definitely be encouraging you to stay with us for our business show, which is about a couple of minutes from now with Frank Fagbo, which is, of course, the business hour. Coming up shortly would be entertainment, so you stay with us.
Welcome back. I'm moving on to entertainment. Yeah, we just have Nigerian Idol. The 9th season concluded, and we have the Nigerian singer Chima Odoye emerged the winner of the 9th season of Nigerian Idol. He defeated fellow finalists Lami and Chioma to secure the coveted title. As the winner, Chima received an impressive grand prize that included 30 million naira in cash, an SUV, a record deal, and a video shoot. The grand event featured captivating performances by Simi, Chike, Progress, Victory Bakara, and a heartfelt thank you performance by George Omawumi and the evicted contestants. The event was hosted by Ike Osakidowa and judged by Nice Omawumi and Rick Hassani. It was actually a wonderful one. I love this particular 9th edition of the Nigerian Idol. This is where we have raw talent in Nigeria, come up to contest. And it's beautiful to see that the winner of this year's own is no other person than Chima Odoye. That voice is strong, David.
Well, I do appreciate the fact that talent is gaining. Well, it's not even new that Nigeria have so much talent.
Beautiful talent.
In humans. And I say congratulations to him because moving forward, he definitely will be giving us amazing songs.
Exactly. A beautiful congratulations to you, Chima Odoye, on that. And moving on again, we have Anita Abami, the youngest son of Resilience Industries chairman, Mukesh Ambani, recently married his longtime girlfriend, Radhika Merchant, in a lavish wedding ceremony in Mumbai, India. The guest list included global celebrities, business tycoons, politicians, and Bollywood stars. The pre-wedding festivities featured performances by Rihanna, Katy Perry, Andre Bocelli, and the Backstreet Boys. Notable attendees at the main event included Kim Kardashian, John Cena, Priyanka Chopra, and Rema. A social media buzz with excitement over Rema's substantial $3 million performance fee for the event, emphasizing his talent and solidifying his status as a global music icon. Just last week, we were talking about Backstreet Boys, and I could remember that David and Tisom were saying something about they want to have them again on the screen. They want to see them again perform. Now they've gone to perform somewhere in India, brother. We no go there.
I definitely would be. We had to work.
Imagine the combination.
That's the reason why.
Imagine the combination.
That's the reason why we couldn't go.
We had to work. Yeah. You have Rihanna there. We have Katy Perry there.
Again, like I said,
we have the.
We had to work. Work comes first.
But my happiness actually that we have our own Rema also perform there. That is $3 million performance fee.
Oh well.
Rema is doing well.
Rema is another revelation from Nigeria that has been globally accepted in the music business, and it's a good thing that Nigerians are really, really finding their foot when it comes to international and world music as well. So congratulations to Rema, and yes, congratulations to the couple.
That is it. That's all we have on the entertainment segment of TM this morning. Just join Chisom Eninaya 1 p.m. on Spotlight for more juicy information on entertainment.
Well, coming up.
Audio Jungle.
All right, welcome back. Let's just talk some sports. Well, it was an interesting one yesterday, where the Euros did end yesterday, and again, England did not get the trophy. Well, interestingly, the Euros for me was a beautiful competition, and I had to just take a bit of time to talk about it. England did give their best, but Spain showed what masterclass is all about.
Will you say that the God of soccer is against them? Because it's been a long time I heard that word. God of soccer is against a particular people. Which is God? I want to ask, who is even that God of soccer, Seth? Does he have a name?
Well, when you say God of soccer, I don't know what you're talking about. But then, if you play well, you definitely should.
Spain did well yesterday. I watched the match. 2-1.
All right, well, let's just get to it almost immediately. Like I said earlier, Spain defeated England yesterday, and it was a weekend of amazing action. Spain defeated England to become the Euro 2024 winners. It ended 2-1 in favor of Spain. And then in the Copa America, Argentina defeated Colombia as well. It ended, of course, 1-0 in favor of Argentina. Argentina are the Copa American champions. And then when it comes to tennis as well, we will get to that. But let me start again with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They begin their preparation of the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifying campaign with a home game against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic in September 2024. Now, following this, the team will travel to Kigali for a match day 2 fixture against Rwanda at the Amahoro Stadium. In October, Nigeria will face the Mediterranean Knights of Libya in a doubleheader. The Cheetahs will host Nigeria match day 5, and the Super Eagles will conclude their qualifiers with a home game against Rwanda in November 2024. Well, the two top teams in the group will secure a spot in the AFCON 2025 tournament in Morocco. Well, from the Super Eagles, let's go to the Super Falcons, where Jennifer Echejene has expressed excitement about her inclusion in the Super Falcons squad for the 2024 Olympic Games. Well, Echejene, one of the 18 players selected by head coach Randy Waldrum, will be making her second major tournament appearance for Nigeria in Paris. The 23-year-old midfielder, who recently signed for French club Paris Saint-Germain, called it a big honor to represent Nigeria. Echejene is definitely eager to face the challenges ahead with both her national team and her new club. Interesting times are here. Well, also, the saga between Finidi George and Victor Osimhen seem to be gaining another level of momentum. Well, former Nigerian international John Ogu believes Victor Osimhen must have apologized to ex-Super Eagles head coach Finidi George for his recent social media outburst. Osimhen's outburst followed Finidi's resignation, and of course, where Finidi stated he wouldn't beg Osimhen to play for the national team after the striker withdrew from the 2 World Cup qualifiers due to injury. Well, in an interview in a podcast granted to Ogu, he defended Osimhen, citing his long-standing respectfulness and good character since the under-17 days. Ogu emphasized that Osimhen's action were likely a momentary lapse driven by frustration and the need to express himself. Well, this is where we have to draw the curtain on the show this beautiful morning. Thank you so very much for being here. As we go, let's also let you know that as Nigerians, it is our right to now start asking questions. The Supreme Court gave a major verdict as concerning local government autonomy just within the weekend. And I dare say that this is about time that we take our leaders word for word, accountable, of course, by asking questions as against us keeping quiet before now. Thank you so very much for being here. Do have a beautiful day ahead. David Edwin saying, God bless Nigeria.
And from Fina Okechukwu, enjoy the rest of your day. On top of the hour, 9 a.m. is the VOP News Update on Voice of the People Television. And as a patriotic citizen, try as much as you can to stand by the right. Yes, I know the economy is actually biting hard on everybody, but that doesn't mean that we will not go ahead to be the architect of our own problem. Do whatever thing you need to do to put a smile on someone's face. Believe me, it will go a long way. Enjoy the rest of your days. Adios, amigos.